Welcome to Crochet 101 with Shay Yarn. For all other information about the series and all the other videos in the series, you can go to the Crochet 101 playlist on my profile. For this video, we're going to be chatting about how I hold my hook and my yarn. Now, this is very individual per person. I would say almost everyone holds their hook and their yarn a little bit differently. So as you go on and as you start to learn the muscle memory and as you start to get familiar with things, you will kind of figure out what works for you, but this is just what works for me. Having something to put your yarn in when you first start out is really nice as well, because this way you're not chasing it around. I honestly don't always use my yarn bowl. A lot of times I just have my ball of yarn sitting in my lap. But any old bowl, any old container, you don't need a specialty yarn bowl, will work great for just helping you keep track of all of your stuff. So let's start off with our hook. These are both 5mm hooks, and you'll see me probably using these interchangeably between the two lessons. Just know that they're the exact same size. They're just made by two different brands. And they serve right now as two different examples of how you can hold your hook. I actually prefer these B-O-Y-E hooks. They work better for how I hold my hook and my yarn. I like to hold it very close down the stem here and closer to the actual hook, whereas a lot of other people prefer to hold their hooks way farther down here and use a little bit more movement when they're crocheting. This is going to be instruction for righties. If you are a lefty, I will put some names of some left-handed crochet instructors that I've been given in the past who should hopefully be able to help you with holding your things in a left-handed way. I maybe one day I will be able to learn to do it the other way, but for now, hopefully they can provide you some assistance. So traditionally, you're going to be holding your hook with this hand and your yarn with this hand, and this is going to be the hand you both hold your working project with usually, and then also that you're going to hold your tension with. So I will go over slip knots and chaining and single crochet in the next lessons, but for now, I'm just going to be showing you crocheting for how I hold my yarn. So I did a quick slip knot, and this I'm going to hold onto my working yarn with my left hand here, and I like to use my pointer finger of my left hand and also my pinky of my left hand to kind of hold my tension. You can get tension rings as well. They have not worked for me per se, but definitely if you're having a hard time with tension, I would try one of those out. You can get them really cheaply at different craft stores, or there are makers who make them on Etsy. But this is how I hold my tension here, and this is how I hold my hook. So I usually use my pointer finger on the stem of my hook, and I pinch it between my middle finger and my thumb, and I hold the tension with the top of this ring finger and also with my pinky, and I basically use my pinky to release more yarn as I need it. So this holds the tension and this holds the yarn, if that makes sense. So I'm going to try and crochet upside down a little bit. So you can see I just released my pinky a little bit as I bring this around. And I pull through my yarn, again, guiding with this finger here. I work very close to the hook and the yarn, but you will find what works for you. And again, a lot of this is just going to come with time. So I just use this to make sure I have the correct tension, and I use this to release my yarn. I'm going to work for a few minutes just so you can see how I use my hands. And you can see I'm holding my project with my thumb and my finger here as well to kind of keep it out of the way. And this is all going to come with practice and muscle memory. And then when I get started on actually crocheting my row, again, these are single crochets and we will have an entire lesson devoted to them. Don't worry. I'm doing the exact same thing where I am holding my yarn with my pinky finger, holding my tension with my pointer finger, and kind of guiding my hook with this hand. And I also use my this finger to kind of open up stitches as I need them, especially when you first start a row, when you first start crocheting into your initial chains, these stitches are going to be a little bit tighter than they will be once you actually get your work started. So I will kind of use this pointer finger to open a stitch up so I can allow my hook in. At first, this is going to feel weird and uncomfortable, but I promise you, as you continue to work on your basic skills, this is going to become second nature to you. So I will see you guys for our next lesson where we cover slip knots and how to start this initial chain.